gather round for the village football competition. Every cook-up used to share between families everywhere. And when weekend comes, a river line was our mission.
And every day we used to live as one. And my neighbor wasn't a stranger, but another parent to my young one. At Christmas time, the parent car done sun up to sundown. And we stopping by every house in town.
Time to bring back those days. Time to bring back those days. Bring back those days when we lived together as one. Time to bring back those times when we could just walk and wine, chipping all day on the road. Together as one, one, one. 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 Hey, da da da, tiki da da, tiki da da da, tiki da da, hey da, tiki da da. Dr. Capileo and Dr. Williams, two great scientists, two politicians. One was a prime minister, the other opposition. But they had one thing in common: to remove colonization. Convincing the Queen of England that they had a plan to rule and govern this nation without a helping hand. 1962, August is when they did feel a time of relief and a blessing received. A blessing received. A blessing received. A blessing received. I said, bang it again, and I bang it again, and I said, no. I said, bang it again. And don't forget the Kaiso. Time to bring back those days. Time to bring back those days. Bring back those days when we lived together as one. Time to bring back those times when we could just walk and wine, chipping all day on the road. Together as one, one, one. Together as one, one, one. Together as one, one, one. Together as one, one, one.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world, the Street919FM.com.
As I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul you keep. Yeah. If I should die before I wake, I pray my soul you take. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah. For all the wicked and bad mind, oh, they change their ways. Every day I pray. Yeah. Every day I pray, yeah. For everybody that is suffering, oh, they see their way. Try protect against the evil at heart and the evil at mind. We trying to live this evil of time. So like a youth man, I hope you make up your mind. Cause once you don't do the crime, pay with your life or with time. Many choose the life, but they not built for the fight. Why be fully done when you could be fully wise? Pray for the people working out day and night. Cause in the system, poor people just cannot survive. Every day, every day. As I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul you keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray my soul you take. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah. For all the wicked and bad mind, how they change their ways. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah. For everybody that is suffering, hope they see the ways. Jah know me heart clean, so me know say them can't style me. Well protected by the Almighty. Me never do them no wrong, why they don't like me. Say I saw when them try get to me. Me pray for the single mother with the little youth. Pray for the school child we don't have no shoes. Pray for the women going through abuse. I pray another young girl does not get used. Oh, as I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul you keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray my soul you take. Every day I pray, yeah. For the wicked and bad mind, hope they change their ways. Every day I pray, yeah. Every day I pray. For everybody that's suffering, hope they see the way.
Wow, that's music coming out from Pretty. Pray.
Yes.
Lord knows we need enough prayers.
We need enough prayers.
Sometimes it can get to you, you know?
Yeah, boy.
Every day.
Every day you have to pray. You cannot forget. You cannot forget.
Trinidad and Tobago, good afternoon and welcome to the VNR show. My name is Precious.
And I am Robert in your company.
Yes, and we are here until 4 o'clock.
Yes.
How are you feeling, TNT? And of course, the world, wherever you guys are locking us down from, say welcome. I find it looking dark. The whole room looking dark. All the lights on?
Yes, all the lights on in fine style.
I find like I hardly see it myself.
Engineers.
Love going out to Google for holding it down for the better part of the day.
Yeah.
I hope you reach home safe.
Yes.
What's going on? How was your weekend?
I do know.
How was your curfew holiday
every
weekend?
day I pray. Well, I mean, I watch a lot of Netflix. You know.
I was you come with your whole hand.
Yeah, boy.
What going on with your hand?
Yeah, boy. Fastness now.
What going on with your hand?
Oh, I going on plants.
You dig up your hand?
I dig up my hand. But you know, by the sort of your bro, you shall eat, eh?
Well, you know, my brother have a little garden.
Yeah, you was shooting me some.
Yes, I always send pictures and show about
yes, boy.
Saturday we well, he picked some big, nice curry.
Yes,
you know,
boy.
I love my curry.
Yeah, I know you like it curry. How you like it?
I cut it up, soak it in some salt water and fry crispy.
Okay,
I like it fry kind of bun. Yeah, and
like,
salty.
Yeah, bun.
Yeah, and he picked some pak choy. I send it the picture.
Yeah. Trying to looking healthy, boy.
Nice. And I show you the okra on the tree. He picked no okra Saturday.
No okra?
Yeah, and tomatoes. I send you the picture with the
tomatoes. Yeah, that's sending my thing.
So,
well, listen, I want to see you in the garden too, eh? Let's just send my thing, you hear?
Oh God! How I
Trinidad?
Yeah, right, Judy, there, boy. My brother home.
The Saturday, Sunday, get there. Trinidad and Tobago. I see Tobago is in the house already.
Is in the house. Love going out to my good friend Kami. Come.
Yes, Donna Walker is here as well. Good afternoon to you. Of course, yes.
Everyone.
Well, let's share the live. We have a timely topic today.
Yeah, boy.
You know, every day I pray.
And I say, no, I want to start the show. Apart from our theme song, say our song with meaning, boy. Pray for them wicked and evil people and them all there, boy. You see people suffering and wouldn't ease up on people, boy.
Yes. And we seen it in the news, huh?
We seen it in the news. Article, yeah, I'm going to pull it up. I saw Bush, boy. I will touch on this article, boy. It's an easy. The article in CNC3.
Right.
Titled Thousands of Businesses Shut Doors. Owners plead with banks. Be lenient. A volume outside need to load on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Guy.
Yes. We want to big up our engineer staff as well, working hard as always outside.
I mean,
yes.
At a time like this, Robert, why we ought to be begging and pleading for people to have a heart and be lenient? If people ain't walking no way.
Yeah.
And getting an income at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Where we pulling the money from?
Yeah.
From the sky?
It's really getting hard. I don't know. I saw a video and I was telling you that just now, and you told me you spoke about it.
Yeah, I didn't want to show the video last
Right.
because
And I'm glad you didn't. Because you know what? And I hope the person who was filming this,
yeah, boy,
they hear me today. You had no right in doing that. You know what you had a right doing? All right. At the end of the day, stealing is not good. But when you watch I'm not condoning this, although come from me, right? But when you see the products on the floor that this lady was stealing, it's thing for baby, you know.
Yeah.
What I would have done in that instance was tell the lady where she went wrong.
You didn't
Not
put a
film,
phone on here,
and if you didn't have money, I would have buy it for you.
Yeah.
This man getting on in this kind of way. Don't go no way. Stand up there.
You know what hurt me? You know what hurt me when I saw that video last week? At the end of the video, a woman laugh.
Yeah, boy, that a big joke, boy. People problems laugh at my pain. They're not kidding. They're not Kevin Hart, you know. Come on, all yeah.
Look, last week it was in the papers, on the news, on social media. Nari's selling the whole place.
Yes,
Although he did say that it has nothing to do with the pandemic. He just old now after so much years, and he really don't want to fight up.
Oh, he did say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there is another article that I saw last week of a Tobago businessman. He sells his guest apartments.
Yeah. And maybe some of you guys too could share some of your experience with people.
Right now, though, apart from sharing your experience, we are really looking for solutions.
Yeah.
To this problem that we facing here. I'm going to read the article for you guys in a bit, titled "Thousands of Businesses Shut Doors. Owners Pleading with Banks to be Lenient."
Yeah.
You understand? Well over a year into the COVID-19 pandemic, thousands of businesses facing hardship have been forced to permanently close their doors, while some owners have had their commercial properties and private homes repossessed by banks. Others are living in fear of suffering the same fate if they are unable to pay their monthly installments. I'm sure everybody could relate to that in some way or the other. Frustrated business owners from Trinidad to Tobago are complaining that some banks are not being flexible enough with them during this time of crisis, and they are pleading for help. Many others say they have been encountering problems accessing funding from the $300 million loan facility made available by the government for struggling businesses during this pandemic. Business owners have been forced to look at alternatives to commercial banks like credit unions and the National Entrepreneurship Development Company Limited, NETCO, as they make last-ditch attempts to save their business and their livelihood. What is the solutions to this? How can we get banks to open their hearts to people who were once every month paying their installments for whatever, and now they simply can't because the place closed for so long? People can't work. If people are not working, how they getting money to pay these installments? Let me tell you something. A friend of mine was telling me. He wasn't telling me because it had other people in around when he was talking, so he was just talking. He's a DJ on a radio station, but he also does another job. And he was telling the group of people who were around him at the time, about a month and a half ago, he was saying he does work for a wrecking company. And he say it have a lot of land in Shogunas. And he said, if you see cars, we repossess for the banks. He said, nice cars, you know. People walk in, they take out their new car, and then, bam, we come and get hit with this pandemic. Can't pay for your brand new car, you know, take out. And the wrecking company that he working for, he telling us, if you see cars we wreck precious, brand new cars, just sit down there in a lot. People who couldn't afford to pay it. That is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Now, how long, Robert, before you default on payments? 3 months? I think it's 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months.
3 months. If you ain't pay for 3 months, then they're coming for
to
you.
repossess, yes.
But take into consideration the environment that we have. Now, I mean, I'm not saying, because I understand, I know all of this come for people when people ain't come for all you, send for all you. So I know all you're coming with, oh God, precious, what the bank to do, blah, 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 but things can be put in place. Look, I read a comment on that same article I just read there, Robert. Somebody said they find moratoriums should be put in place where, you know, Tech bill, WASA bill, cable internet bill, installments, give you a blind.
Yes. Is we up under these conditions that we on right now? Because people really, the lifestyle.
Now, HipCheck is saying this issue goes beyond a local TNT problem, and I understand that, but I talk it for me. I live in Trinidad.
Yeah.
You understand? I understand that all the problems we face in here because of the pandemic is worldwide.
Yeah.
We dealing with my little island that I in here.
Yeah.
I dealing with my people and them here who every day. Some people even want to get up.
What's wrong? The
Because
level?
the gap is to face more problems, more pressure.
And I don't know if people understand the level of depression is over this nation. And Hip Chick is right, over the world. Right? But I'll be dealing with Trinidad right now, right? Charity begins at home, ends abroad. So I dealing with home, right? I dealing with home and dealing with what I could see, what I can see. Yes? And I'm seeing a lot of depressed people right now because how long are you in on this thing now?
This is 19, COVID-19. It started in the world in 2019. So, but we became affected more than a year ago, March.
Right.
Last year.
Now people lost their jobs. Since then, I know people do not working. Since then to now, how they facing it?
Yeah.
All right, they when they lost their job, the whole lot of 2 months or 3 months after, even Christmas come, they still had a nice Christmas because, somebody, might have...
And plenty of people living on the savings too.
Yes, right? But how long your savings will be there? How long your savings will be there? And it seems to me like the banks and them and certain institutions are not taking into consideration the duration of this thing and calculating to suit. Because, Precious, if I know somebody is not having an income, because the bank doesn't know, sometimes you do a wire transfer, you do a standing order, things of that nature. So they will go into the account or they have a machine to pull and they will realize, well, wait now, we're pulling and it's going into negative. So, I mean... Every day I pray.
Let me open the phone lines now.
Yeah, of course.
342-00817711179. That's also the WhatsApp where you could voice note us as well. Pull up the voice note.
Yes.
And the 466-5391. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Precious and Mr. Roberts.
Welcome. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good. I'm alive. Look, let me say this before I make the contribution. I'm alive. I thank in God. And yes, the corona is there, but we gotta live. Because it's a new day, the sun is shining, the birds is whistling, the breeze is blowing, and it's hard, but we gotta live. Because if God said there is life, we can't run from that. So to tell people, look, just live. But let me come to this back. 2 weeks back, I went into a particular bank on High Street to ensure that the account is not closed, to monitor it then. Because remember that based upon the job you're doing, money not coming in, so you do not want the account to be dormant. Because if the account becomes dormant, which means they close it, but you will have to reopen. And then you now have to go through to get all the documents. I'm coming to the point. Now, so what I have been doing every 3 months, I would go there, just to ensure that you have to put something on it not to close. Well, with that now, you cannot go by the counter if you're not taking out more than 3,000 or that kind of business. So you now have to do the envelope and do everything. So while I was there, I decided, look, let me check on the card to make everything. So you have to pull a number. And knowing Tabakit, how I stop, of course, while I'm waiting on you, I will chit-chat, get information. And I'm glad you always that. So I want to ask the teller, tell me something. What's going to happen to the people who is owing the bank? I made to her where the government said to hold your hands. And I'm telling all you like, if it happened yesterday, if you know what I mean, real-time information. Let's have a conversation.
Yes.
And we chatted. And you know what she told me? She said, Mr. Horsley, she said, here we're going on. The bank is a business. And she said the government could say what they like out there to hold their hands. She said the government is not into that kind of business with the government. She said those who own the bank loans, they have to pay. And I don't want to call the bank name.
No.
Because I don't want anybody to get into trouble.
Please don't,
And she was telling me, she said it's 2 things. If you're owing for a car, they take the car and you all mention it. She said it's either they sell your house and that's it.
Wow.
So I put the discussion now. I said, tell me something. What's about people who get in the government grant and all these things? She said if the individual did not come into the bank could take money out of that. And let me further. Last year, and I'm giving you all it live, a godson of mine, he banked in one of the banking institutions in Marabella. I'm not calling the bank again. And he called me. He received the 1,500. He had a couple hundred for the bank. They take the money out of it.
Wow.
So let me tell people out there, I'm glad you all raised this discussion, because we are calling here with no politics and tabaki. I'm giving all you it live and direct. And I tell you, I had a one-on-one conversation 2 weeks back with a teller in a particular bank on High Street. And she told me, she said the government could say what they like out there. She said the bank is a business. And she said if you cannot pay, they take the car, they take the house, and whatever they need to do to get their money. So people, I love how Mr. Roberts and Ms. Precious is bringing it down. I pray that people really call and give their life story. Look, sometimes let me throw away the politics this evening now. And let me really talk heart to heart. Let's, what's going on with people, because for the end of the day, let me say this. When you go to the bank, they don't want to know if it's UNC, PNM, if it's in Africa.
Bring it out now.
Yes. Let me repeat this. The bank don't want to know if it's Kamala Rowley, Indian, African. They all the bank want to know, hey, you're owing us.
Yes.
You can't, you have land, something, they seize it. You hear me? And let me say this before you go. You know anything these higher purchase talk, I don't want to call name again to get the station into trouble. Somebody call me and tell me they're ringing them, they want their money. And let me tell people this. They have, they have credit collectors now, debt collectors. So they're now not coming anymore, They put you to court. So what you have now is the debt agency. They're going to call you and they're going to tell you, look, so is the case. And then they put you to court. So I'm appealing to callers. If you're making your contribution, let me leave out the politics this evening. Let me go heart to heart. Or if it's better you wait out this segment. Now I can't tell people what to do. I'm not directing anybody. But let me have a real discussion. Let me hear the pulse of the people. Let people call and tell you, look, I owe in the bank, my credit. You know what I mean? Let me have an evening discussion. Move the politics. Let me go heart to heart and bring the thing real, man. Mr. Precious, Miss Precious and Mr. Roberts, yes. I like this segment. Let me call it Real Hour segment, that people come with real talk. Forget UNC. Forget PNM. Don't be sympathetic. Let me come out, bring it.
Thank you so much. Now, I'm reading some of the comments on the Facebook Live, where, people saying it's a worldwide thing, and, all banks are the same. HipCheck is even saying, we ignorant to how world economics work.
Right.
TNT is not in charge. This is HipCheck's comment. TNT is not in charge of the worldwide banking system, etc. Bank owe money too. Not trying to sound insensitive, but this is how it works. But you already know that. And I understand that. I know how the banks work.
Right.
You take out something on credit, on loan. Right. There was an agreement, a contracted agreement, that at the end of the month, you pay a certain installment to cover for a period of time, right, until you finish paying off for the loan. But nobody taking into consideration where
the money coming from.
We in a pandemic, we
where
in a
the
crisis,
money coming from.
And these were people, obviously, Robert, if
were
I go
working.
to the bank,
They were working.
If I went to the bank to take out a car, and me and my husband at one point in time bought a house, it's because we knew nobody
Listen to me.
Nobody knew a COVID was coming, and totally crashed our lives. So you telling me at no point in time within this.
Yeah.
Banks don't have a heart to understand here what these people once paying their loans and paying them on time.
Correct,
Let me
correct.
work out something for them.
Mm-hmm.
Or let me not even work out something for them. Let's put a stop. I mean, where people getting the money
Yes,
from. I just said a
yes.
comment under the article on CNC.
tell you
Said,
something,
you know, there should be a moratorium in place where certain bills you just don't have to pay because we don't know where the money coming from to pay it.
And we don't know how long again this is going to happen. People are losing their jobs.
You remember
People.
You remember, Robert, for the better part of more than a year.
Yeah.
People willing to come out and work, you know.
Yeah.
People want to work.
Yeah, of course.
You understand? But we can't because
cannot.
we're in a lockdown or whatever.
Correct.
Take that one. Good day. Hello?
Precious, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
And good afternoon to you, Mr. Roberto.
Good afternoon, country.
Precious, in this country, we had a past prime minister. She was prime minister and she see a young lady going in a grocery and stealing children, milk and child pampers and things. And the prime minister passed laws in this country which part every single mother who under problems could access this 500. This country support a government who say, hey, that is wasting money. And those same mothers and fathers them outside there support that and say this is wasting money. And it's sad to see that people in this country will see that happening still. And it's not that the young lady want to do that. And that is not the only person video. That the only way the public will know is if that person take out that camera and videotape that. Why it is, Mr. Roberts, why it is the world applaud that young lady for taking out the phone and videotaping George Floyd murder. That is where they get the evidence from. And in Trinidad and Tobago, when somebody take out a phone and videotape the young lady stealing milk, we will say that is something harsh to do. But that is how the public...
No, understand, Kunji, you understand what I was saying, right? It was blatant...
I understand what you're saying.
No, hold up now. It was blatant embarrassment was going on there. People were laughing at the lady, not assisting. Now, if you look at George Floyd situation, people were amazed, they were marveled. They were being sympathetic. You understand?
The law.
But in this case, Kunji, people is laughing. In this case, the security officer is watching the girl and pulling rank off a lady, you know, and saying, stand up there.
And that is this die how the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago think. That is an insulting way how the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago think.
True.
I watch, man, I'm not condemning you for saying that, but the same way how they take out that phone and videotape is the same way how I would have get to know that. And
well, I understand. And I understand.
To see that too, but Trinidadians, they will laugh at something like that.
Yes, boy,
they will
come on,
condemn a lady who passed laws. Yeah, let me speak. They will condemn a lady who passed laws to ensure those things wouldn't be taking place in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the kind of people we have in Trinidad and Tobago. And it is very, very sad. And look, let me tell you something. The government too. The government could go in parliament and pass laws for the bank to ease up these people them who are to pay the bills and when we could read the papers and see over thousands of businesses closing down in the country, that is people who take $250,000 loan. That is people who take out $150,000 loan. That is people who take out a loan and go and rent a place to open a business. Those are the people them that losing everything today with no assistance from the government. And that is what's sad about it. Why is we passing laws every year for $45 and $50 billion to pass a budget every year, plus we borrowing billions. But that resource is not going on to the citizens of this country. And that is real talk. That is what the citizens supposed to be speaking about. Tawakit, all that time you taken, it have mothers and fathers in this country waiting to hear your contribution on behalf of them who are under real pressure right now. Thank you. All have a good day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Blessings to you. Let me just read the next part of the article here. The IWER Business Association has reported that almost 200 businesses have closed in that area over the last 12 months. President of the association, whose area covers from Aruca to Valencia, said there are some smaller businesses under threat of the banks repossessing their commercial properties. He suggested that banks give businesses a 6-month to a 1-year moratorium and lower interest rates to assist them. Now, while we having our discussion, remember, we also looking for solutions.
Correct.
Melka is saying, remember, this country's economy is down low for years now, and adding to the troubles now a pandemic, and the government still holding its end to keep away from the IMF. Trust me, it could be 10 times worse.
Well, I see it going there, you know.
It's been a couple of years since I kind of understand that if you go to the IMF, you know, you're indebted to them like forever, and it will really make, you know, the country, you know, very, very difficult to live in, even harder, because wherever you borrow from them in the billions, you had to pay back.
Yeah.
So I understand that we really don't want to go there to the IMF. I don't want us to go there. From what I understand, if we go there, the predicament TNT would be in. I'm not even talking about that. I dealing with the article in the paper.
Yeah, in terms of...
You could imagine, Robert, before the pandemic, you and your wife say, you know what, we're going to open a little business. Take your whole life saving and invest in a business, and then pandemic come. No fault of yours.
Yes.
And you telling me nowhere in this, we can sit down and work out something.
Yeah. And we're talking about reasoning, no. We're talking about reasoning with the people who... and let me tell you something. You know why I laugh just now? Because sometimes, I don't know if you got it already, but when you go to the bank, right? They would tell you about their promotions and encourage you to, you know, take loans and things of that nature, and they will be so zealous.
I saw that under the comments.
Yeah, they will be
in this time in banks telling you to take out credit card.
Yeah, they will be so zealous for you to come and take out, you know, a loan, and we have this car special and thing and now where I'm not working, I'm not getting the same salary. We can't sit down and conversate like how we was from inception, how we was doing it. Like when you was trying to convince me to take a loan, and I now take a loan, and now I don't have a thing. Why we can't have that same conversation as to how am I going to pay this?
Yeah, Tessa on the Facebook is saying, what law COP? That was not a law. Good afternoon. Oh, I lost that one. Let me take this one. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to my namesake. But I the Italian version, so anyhow. Yes, I understand what it is you all are saying. But you must watch at everything in a holistic view, right? The gentleman talk about what was going to be happening with the children, with the milk and things, but he must also remember that is the same nice woman that put 5,000 black people in prison without a charge, and we go look for a charge. And that's the same lady, that nice lady that wanted to lock up a child for making a statement on Facebook, and then right now we hear a lady threatening to slap up the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health, and nothing happened to her. So, you know, let me hold on that. Now, as for the banks and them, you have to understand that, sadly, they don't care about us. They are in for business. They don't care about we.
Yeah.
And most of these banks are related to banks in foreign. And foreign have the same policy, and they're closing down on people worldwide because they decide they're going to make a killing. In this time of pandemic, when people dying, they decide to make a killing on their own. So what are we going to do? We have to try and work around the systems that we have here. And worldwide, again, I must say, this is a worldwide problem. And the people, we have to understand, we're dealing with people who will dump millions of gallons of milk so they will keep the price up. Oh, you hear me?
Yeah, we were here.
These are, they don't care about human beings.
Come on now.
The only thing they care about is money. And the government cannot control them because they don't even belong to us. They are foreign entities. And we must understand they don't care about us. So we have to try and work with some way, maybe lobby the administration to see if the government has to go to them, the government has to go cap in hand and say, oh God, or they don't kill me people now. The government has to go cap in hand because the government does not control them. They are controlled by foreign entities who are presently pressuring us as well. But we have a nice lady want us to go to the IMF. So if the banks killing we, what you think the IMF going to do, we boy? And what it is you think will happen when it is we devalue the dollar? We don't care or import nothing already. We limited on US. When we devalue it, what will happen? We will have our money will just have more, but it ain't go worth nothing, and we go come out like Idi Amin country where we can't buy toilet paper with the money. All these people out there have to think. We hearing people giving advice to destroy this country instead of build the country. And we listen to these things and running with it and continue every day on the radio talking all kind of foolishness. To understand, do we know that from 2010 to 2015, the global competitiveness index in this country dropped by 30 points? You know what that means? Our corruption perception index went up by 20 points. That means we was worse off by 20 points. People don't understand this. I just study what is happening here, and I just look at how the world sees us. And the world sees us on a negative in based on the 2014 report. Moody's gave us a negative rating because the country didn't save $1 in 3.5 years. And we was in a recession since the beginning of 2014. And then the man comes in 2015 and say, well, you know, we have been in a recession for the past 4 quarters. But everybody know a recession is registered as being in the first 2 quarters of negative growth. You come after 8 and tell me we're in a recession? Seriously? All you open your eye, or if all you want to continue to commit suicide, no problem. But don't take the rest of the country with all you know. You all have a nice day.
Thank you so much, caller. Do you want to play some voice notes?
I think we have any right now.
145, look at our voice notes. Hey.
I think this was in Google. Yes. And remember to send your voice notes.
To 771-1791.
Of course, call us at 342-0081 and 466-5391.
Well, let me take the calls then. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Pasha.
Welcome, honey. How are you?
Hi, yeah, and you call.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good evening, darling.
Good evening.
I want to send condolences to Mommy Sauce Mother Day.
Yes.
Mommy Sauce Mom?
Yeah. Sometime today, I think.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm sending condolences to her. Tell her sausage auntie.
Yeah.
The condolences.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.
She was seeing about her all the time.
What's that?
She was seeing about her.
Oh, so she passed away today?
Yeah.
Wow. Condolences to Mommy Sauce and the family. Wow.
Okay, then.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, blessings. And also want to send condolences to Mother Tuna,
yes.
whose husband she posted on Facebook passed away suddenly this morning from a massive heart attack.
Condolences to that family.
I know how close she and her husband was because she always posting stuff on Facebook. So sad. Wow. Guys, it's 3:15. We have like about 7 more minutes before we go to the ads. So we want to try and clear up the phone lines. I see Mr. Tobago trying to call.
Yeah. Tobago, call us. Call us, Tobago.
Clear up the lines in the meantime.
Oh, yes.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good evening, Precious.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome.
According to the video with the lady who was silvering the baby food. Now, it's a real unfortunate situation because here we have to look at this. If they imprison her, the children suffer more, right?
Correct.
So, as a people, even the security guard, you didn't even to make the alarm. Talk to the woman. Say, listen.
That is what
we're
I'm saying.
about doing this different. And listen, I pleading with the people out there, better just see somebody, whether in the grocery or outside the grocery, say, listen, honestly in need, whether it's a pack of Pampers or a tin of baby milk, just buy something and please. I know what you want. And what you do it.
Yes.
Because if I was there, I would have died 10 times more than that for that.
Yes.
Because I being real. And Tasha, this is the guy who was telling me the transport. when you read the article.
Yes, I remember you.
I went to the lady home, you know.
Oh, you did?
That's
Yes,
off to you,
I
man.
found out who the person was. I got the number from the writer. I got authorization to call the individual.
Lovely.
When I called the individual, she said, well, she didn't want no money. I said, listen, let me pass in on this way. I said, okay, you have a family of 7 to deal with. I said, me have females there. Grocery alone wouldn't cut it. Females need other things.
Yeah.
So I get her to see a different light. I dip in my pocket. What my hand pull out, I put it in a bag. She says she can't leave to come to get it because she don't want to bring nothing to them. So she says she's not sending her daughter. I just wind down my window. I tell the daughter, I say, take this to your mommy. And you wouldn't believe, I tracked down this person so much till the person know my wife and the person know me, you know. So but I don't even know who I send that money for. But my heart just goes to the person. Because, listen, come on, people in need, I still have my job. So I have to be grateful in which I can help somebody in need.
Yes.
And we as our people need to really think different. Every day I listen to programs to see who I can help. I just go in the grocery. I have people in the grocery putting back basic food stuff. I just tell the cashier, no. You cash it, I will pay for it.
Wow.
I just do that because, come on, it's basic food stuff people need with the banking system. Precious, listen, I opened my business just before the 1st of April. And the second day, Dr. already shut on the country. Yet still, I have to discuss it with the landlord as to where we're going forward. Because, listen, it's better you still get something that's than nothing at all. Because you have that to pay, I will have that to pay, but your debt's bigger than mine. So if we can work together, but remember, most of the banks is external, so they're not calling the shots. And for who don't know, plenty of the banks have a lot of restructuring where a lot of the workers home too. So if you feel, well, the banks alone doing this to people, no, the banks have real workers. I have bank friends who are home. They're out of a job right now because they do restructuring pertaining to the COVID. Remember, all the branches not open.
Right.
A lot of branches closed down. So this is a domino effect worldwide. But we just need to look out for each other. Anybody who in need, we can help each other, help our neighbor, make sure our neighbor can eat a meal at the end of the day. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right? I love to understand. Wonderful
Blessings.
program.
Thank you so much. God bless your heart. Let's play that voice note.
Yes, I was looking for a word to say concerning that. Yes, ease up the people. Don't even take no money when they start back to work. You know, you just blank that off the system. All right? Because even though when they start back to work, they have other things to do, other things to secure. You still have this loan to pay for. Nah. You see, that I find that should blank off the book clean.
You play now, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to play this one.
Father, this evening, here I go. Dear God, blessing your holy and wonderful name, dear Father. Lifting your name on high, Lord, glorifying your name, giving you all praise, all honor, and all glory. Father God, thank you for life, thank you for health, and thank you for strength. This evening, dear God, I want to say praise and thanks unto you for each and every one on this program, dear God. Father, bless them all in Jesus' name. Father, this evening, thank you for your courage, your wisdom, your understanding, and thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your peace, your love, dear Lord, Father. Father, the best thing, dear God, that we could do is to love one another, look out for one another, care for each other, dear God. Father, Lord, in this pandemic, we never know this was going to hit us, you know. We never know that this was going to hit us, Jesus. Father God, precious and Robert, this evening, guide them and protect them. On IWER George show, thank you, dear God, for having, dear God, each and every one that come onto this program. Thank you, dear God. Thank you this evening for your blessing. Thank you for your peace. Thank you for your love, your understanding, dear Jesus. We call upon you, Lord, for guidance and protection. We call upon you, Lord, for peace, dear God, in this land, dear Father. We call upon you, asking the people to do the things that is right. Do the things that is right, God. That is so important when we go right. Many of us understand the word right, you know. Many of us understand it, because if we don't do that, nothing will go good. Dear God, but you know, one thing I want to call upon. You see the judges this evening? You see the judges and the lawyers? These are one set of people I didn't hear no one asking to give a helping hand. And I hope and pray that they're doing it without anybody asking.
Right.
Okay? Thank you for your word this evening in Jesus' name.
Bless the Lord for that.
Thank you so much for that voice note.
Yes.
Pray for the women going through abuse. I pray another young girl does not get used.
Going back to the phone lines. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, Precious. Good
Hi.
afternoon, Precious and Company.
Hi.
Good afternoon. You're hearing me?
Yeah,
we are.
All right. Precious, oh gosh, so much things have been said, and you know, everybody bring up a different thing and I have a different thought on everything, but let me try and see if I can get it too fast. The thing for the bank, you know, it would be nice, but then you have to remember, it would be nice if they could, like, stop payments until the person get back the job or the full or whatever you want to say, cut the payments in half or whatever. But we have to remember the bank's answer to somebody else, because remember, the bank money is not the bank money. The bank money is people money, right? So sometimes we sit and it's so simplistic to say certain things, but it's not as easy as we would think it is, right? So, I mean, if I have a car and I do have a job, and if it's choice between the job, my house, sometimes I have to make a choice whether to let go the job, the car, or you might not have food, or you have to pay your rent, and sometimes you have to say, well, this one has to go for now. You know, it's hard to pay a down payment and to be paying installments and things, and then you have to lose it, but sometimes it's survival. And I hope that they could, when things open back up, I hope they could find some way to get back the vehicle, because where you say park in a parking lot in Shaguanas, where the person tell you, that ain't doing nothing for the bank, no, it ain't doing nothing for the person, because the bank have to find another buyer for it anyway. And if it's steady and rotting down, the bank ain't gaining nothing. So, you know, I hope something, you know, could work out in that case for those people. And I was calling to say, like what the gentleman say, we who have our jobs, you know, sometimes you want to help somebody. You want to say, like, you know, sometimes you say, you know, you could pay a light bill for somebody, or you could, you know, do something to help another family. But sometimes you meet people and, you know, somebody used to say, you just give, no matter what if they're dishonest, or if they're asking and they don't need it or whatever, they have to deal with that. But in a pandemic like this, you would want to know that the person you helping is genuine and really need the help that you want to offer to somebody.
True.
So sometimes I think, you know, if there was and you don't think just give your money, sometimes you give your money to the Red Cross, and some people don't like doing that kind of giving, but like to help individual people. I hope that we could find some place that we could go to say, well, you know, this family needs this, and, you know, some organization that somebody could put out there that they could go and help pay one person, give some, like a paying the light bill for Mr. John Brown. You know, he can't pay his light bill, and I'm going to help to pay Mr. John Brown light bill or something like that. That kind of charity is what I'm interested in. I don't like to do the big charity. If I could help one individual, that will be, you know, a genuine person. That will be my way of helping somebody. I prefer that way. But I give otherwise, but I prefer that way. So, you know, sometimes we look at things in our simple mind and try to work it out, but in business, it's really, really different, because you have to remember, these people have to answer to somebody else. If you rent in somewhere, sometimes that person have mortgage to pay too. They rent you this store here, but they have a mortgage to pay on the building. So sometimes, you know, you look at it, well, they could intake money from the people for a month or 2 months or 3 months, but how will they pay their mortgage, and then you study. Well, if they let go the person, they still ain't getting money. So it's a kind of ticklish thing, when coming to that kind of business. So I just hope we get through this thing soon and things will get back on track. I don't want us to go to the IMF because the minister already said that will be 33,000 jobs to let go. And I think we will be plunging ourselves into deeper hardship. So I hope we come through this pandemic, and we know it will be hard after, because just looking at it, the country in a bad state financially because money not coming in as it should. So I just hope we ride this storm out.
Thank you so much, caller. The ads are upon us, so we're going to go and pay these, we're going to pay the bank really, really quickly, pay these bills. Yeah. And when we come back, we continue with the program. All right, y'all keep it locked.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago, and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Sign up and save with Green Dot. When you subscribe to any of our broadband packages, you get 30% off the installation fee, allowing you to stream your favorite shows on any of your devices. Update your social media accounts and connect with friends and family. Stay on top of the class with online learning sessions. Or keep your team in the loop with virtual meetings, all at an affordable price. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 224-G-DOT today to sign up and save with Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
At Green Dot, we're making it easier for you with the all-new G-Dot customer portal. Get 24/7 access to your account from all your smart devices. View your account status. See your active services and hardware. View your balance. Pay your bills. Set up recurring payments and more. Simply visit gd.tt today and register with your account number and email address to access this service. The all-new G-Dot customer portal. It's just one of the ways Green Dot is making it easier for you. Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
This year, avoid bacteria with cleaning supplies. Made locally, superior quality, a family brand you can't deny. Detergents formulated to be better. Fabric softeners make laundry they're brighter. All sanitizers are multi-purpose. Spend your pennies with a purpose.
Z's Cleaning Supplies is the new trusted brand for household cleaning. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram at Z's Cleaning Supplies. Place an order by calling us on 340-4610.
Just for you, so real, get that perfect smile. Beauty's in every aisle to take care of your body. We have all you need to stay healthy. Yeah, more to know. Yes, it's true. Pennywise, just for you.
Pennywise gives you more to love.
Julia,
How our daughter bright so?
What you mean?
Kelly's so young and already talking about when she gets her first job, taking out a mortgage with TTMF at 2%.
She knows about 2%?
Yes, 2% with no down payment as a first-time homeowner and the lowest rate on the market. We would not have to dip into our savings to set her up. Where she get all this brains from?
Her mother, of course.
TTMF, from here to home.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Onia Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
The sky is not the limit, please stay open. Be a voice for change and inspiration, yeah. Be true to yourself with every motion. Be fearless when you speak, the future's waiting, yeah. Just be, just be, just be, just be. Be mobile, just be.
Now there's a new way to pay your electricity bill.
Quick pay your bills today. Quick pay, it's a whole new way. Online, pay your bill one time. Yes, there is a whole new way to quick pay for your electricity. Yes, they made it easy. Just enter your account number. 4 clicks and it's over.
Introducing Quick Pay, a new service from the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission that lets you pay your bill online with your credit or Visa debit chip card. Just enter the account number and contact information. Click Pay and you're done.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com.
As I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul you keep. Yeah. If I should die before I wake, I pray my soul you take. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah. For all the wicked and bad man, hope they change their ways. Every day I pray. Yeah. Every day I pray, yeah. For everybody that is suffering, hope they see the way. Shall protect against the evil at heart and the evil at mind. We trying to live this evil of time. So like a youth man, I hope you make up your mind. Cause once you don't do the crime, pay with your life or with time. Many choose the life, but they not built for the fight. Why be fully done when you could be fully wise? Pray for the people working all day and night. Cause in the system, poor people just cannot survive. Every day, every day. As I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul you keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray my soul you take. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah. For all the wicked and bad man, how they change their ways. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah. For everybody that is suffering, hope they see the ways. Jah know me heart clean, so me know say them can't style me. Well protected by the Almighty. Me never do them no wrong, why they don't like me. Say a psalm when them try get to me. Me pray for the single mother with the little youth. Pray for the school child we don't have no shoes. Pray for the women going through abuse. I pray another young girl does not get fused. As I lay me down to sleep, I pray my soul you keep. If I should die before I wake,
pray my soul to take. Every day I pray. Every day I pray, yeah.
Vocals.
All the wicked and bad mind hope they change their ways.
Can I hear it one more time?
Every day I pray.
Come on.
Every day I pray.
Wow! You're showing off now. You're showing off now.
Now that song just touched me, you know, it just really touched me. Big up to Pretty on that one.
Yes, boy.
Yeah,
and
man.
Kimmy. Pretty
And Kimmy.
Yeah.
I don't know who's Kimmy though.
Yeah, he's a Trinidad artist.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay, I like my Trinidad artist. I never know.
Yeah, I know you like to zest sometimes.
Sometimes it is good to zest.
Yes, and release stress, right?
You telling yourself. Hello.
So we are back to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, so you know what we're discussing this afternoon? The discussion came from the article on CNC3, thousands of business people losing their jobs, begging the banks to have a heart and be lenient. But from the contributions we get in, we are also of the understanding that banks are a business. They don't care about you.
Nope.
You understand? Even in a pandemic where, you know, while most parts of the world you know, have been opening back up.
Yeah.
We in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
We still trying to regain some sense of normalcy. You hear the Prime Minister say we're still looking at the first week in July to open up the borders. Slowly but surely. You know,
I think we're ready.
Things will get back. If I think we're ready. Well, I read in the papers this morning how we're running out of first dose of vaccines.
Yes.
And then
we didn't qualify or something.
And then, the COVAX facility now, the 500 million doses that Joe Biden said the U.S. was given to poorer countries, we ain't qualified for that because we're self-sufficient.
Right.
Even Saturday, the Prime Minister had said, no word on that promise to us. So we running out of first dose vaccines, and then we were hopeful of getting some of the 500 million that the US was sending out to poorer countries. Now we now finding out that we're not eligible for that.
So much happening.
Somebody was saying on the Facebook, if KFC open tomorrow, you can see the lines.
Yeah, really?
Look at it, Scotty.
Yes.
If KFC open tomorrow, watch and see if the same people who just say they're hungry and they have nothing to eat, watch and see how long the lines would be. Well, I'm reading it how you write it.
Yeah. No, bring it out. What do you think about that comment? Honestly. I know it's a realist.
You trying to put me up? Why you say when you say off air when you was playing the ads? You want to put me up?
I know it's a realist. Bring it out.
I'm playing chin me up, but you know I a realist. I don't take chin up, you know. I don't take chin up. Let me read some of my scripts here. Let me pay the bank.
Yeah.
with some information here. Guys, you can win a free oil change for a Father's Day promotion from Ultra Lubricants. To enter, go to the Ultra Lubricants Facebook page and comment under their Father's Day oil change promotion post and tell them why your amazing dad deserves this fantastic gift. They'll be randomly selecting 20 lucky winners from the comments. Participants must be following their social media page to qualify. Promotion runs from June 11 to 20. That gone. Okay, so they're supposed to come out. Value Optical wishes to advise the public that all 13 branches will be open on a limited basis to continue to provide essential eye care services to you. Their services are currently limited to emergency and critical eye care only, and they will require you to make an appointment at this time. So call 225-4865 or toll free 800-2020 for all inquiries on opening hours, eye testing availability, and how Value Optical can assist your eye care needs. And remember, Value Optical, caring for your eyes. And Johnny Q Hardware, yes, hardware's, open back up. So for all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand, as well as PowerMaster, Optima, Varta, and Megastar batteries starting from $488 only at Johnny Q's Hardware, located at number 15 Arpita Avenue, Woodbrook, and their new Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago, off the Claude Noel Highway. If you have any information at all, call 63 Tools So we want to go back to the phone lines, take your... we want to encourage people who actually going through this at the bank.
Who feels it,
and
knows
you know when you get up every morning how you feeling, because the ending of the month coming so fast.
Who feels
and the
it?
banks keep calling you and you have no idea, how you're going to pay and how you're feeling. Remember, I told you a couple of months ago, Robert, my mom was listening to the gospel station and a woman calling, crying, saying the bank said if she don't put something on her mortgage, they're going to take her house.
No, it's a real thing. It is a real thing.
It has some people, they pass in their 3 months mark of paying they car installment. Banks calling. I understand again people saying banks are businesses and they have their expenses and everything else to pay to.
Yeah.
But nobody has no heart.
Well, the people, and I'm saying the banks have people to answer to. And the banks have people to pay as well. And that is this discussion, it all boiling down to,
And I know people saying, that was Mr. Tabakit, saying, we're not talking politics and keep the government out of this and whatever, but you don't think it should start from there, that, it starts from up there telling, banks and other places where, like the Tiantec and the Wassa, whatever, here what during this time, we all know people not working anywhere.
Yeah.
Hold off on these bills. Eventually, when we open back up the place and people start to work again, even if you had to backtrack it.
Yeah.
So the months they miss, you work out a plan so they pay. But for now, all of the pressure the people. Because I think a directive like that had to come from the highest level.
Higher authorities.
Or else just coming and talking it.
Yeah.
Because Robert, you could tell me from now till thy kingdom come.
They're not doing it. They're not doing it. I get what you're saying.
Good afternoon.
Precious and Robert.
Blessings.
Good afternoon.
Blessings.
Precious and Robert, some of our neighbors already went to the IMF. Colin Inbert said if they go to the IMF, 30-something thousand people is going to lose their jobs. They haven't reached to the IMF yet. How much people already lost their jobs, Precious and Robert?
Too much to count.
But you see, if they go to the IMF is going to demand accountability and transparency. You think they want that? Precious, don't answer that. I will leave it here.
Or they must leave it there. I just only know it must leave it there when
he finish, yeah, basically.
Yeah, what?
Second one.
Blessings. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon, Kunji.
Precious, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have the wrong impression on the IMF and what the leaders of them put in the citizens' head in Trinidad and Tobago about the IMF. The IMF don't lend you money and turn the back on it. When the IMF give you money, you see, if a contract deserves $60,000, it's $60,000, nothing more. And that is accountability and transparency and make sure that the money is spent towards the citizen of the country. That is really the IMF. And what is the responsibility of a government? The responsibility of a government is to create opportunity for the citizens of the country and secure the country from violence and crime and things. In the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we as the citizens don't accept that and say, well, all right, that is laws and the government must stick to them laws and them. Especially in a pandemic, when the people them, especially in time of need, when all these businesses them close down, why the bank don't give the government a list and say these are the 1,500 business and them that will close down because look at owing this. And we as the citizens don't ask the government to take money and subsidize those business places because those are citizens of this country. They help develop the economy in all the years they're doing business. We're just going to blame the bank and we have a government. We have a government that passing a law every year for $40-50 billion, borrowing money to. We have billion-dollar contracts taking place in this country, and we as citizens. Let me tell you something: educated people And people who went to school will think positive and know, look, the government's supposed to spend money in that way. You see, uneducated people will think contrary and don't want the government to do nothing for them, but let people help people. How long people will help people? The most people can help people do is help the fisher. That the most people can help people do is help somebody today. But the government have a responsibility, and you as a citizen have a responsibility to tell the government, hey, spend my money where I want you to spend it. And don't spend it where you want to spend it. Thank you. All have a good day again. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Kunji. Don't raise up your pressure, nah? You have a good day. Hello?
Precious, good afternoon, ma'am.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm quite fine. I'm blessed. Robert, good evening.
Good afternoon, Bartaya.
Hey there, friend.
Friend in the building.
Go ahead.
You know what made me call? I don't like to call that last caller. Robert,
tell me.
America prints its own money, and
right?
Does the American government say to the American citizen, the business that are closing down, we're going to give you money to finance your business?
No, I don't. No.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why the citizens die my money. How long becomes your money, Kunji? Where you went and collect that money? And I keep saying, we have to be living in a dream world. You see what's going on in Brazil? Brazil has passed 500,000 deaths. 500,000. Because Brazilian Prime Minister Bolsonaro was saying the same thing the opposition leader was saying. Singing the same song that they're singing in Reland. So they protest all over Brazil. People are protesting all over Brazil. And here what's going on. They still don't have no vaccine, you know. They still ain't even vaccinate 10% of their population. And hopefully they are in line to get maybe this free vaccine. And you see that that's what kill us, eh? You know that's what kill us, eh, Robert? Because we paid money into COVAX. Right? We put money up front. Unlike Haiti might be one of the countries that vaccine will be given to, if you understand the position.
Right.
You understand? So we're in a terrible position. So we have to hope that the Chinese, or some way, continue to fight, because we take a loan. So hopefully we don't have to spend all the money back there in order to get vaccine. I wonder where this man living. Which part of the world? You see how much business is closing on around the world? You see what's going on right there. Next door to China is what? Hong Kong. You see what's going on in Hong Kong right now? You see what's going on with the virus in that city? And China is intended to host the World Cup.
World Cup.
Olympics.
I don't understand.
The Olympics.
The Olympics, yes. And they're supposed to hold the other Olympics, so I call it this, but I don't want to call them disabled.
The Paralympics.
Paralympics.
Right.
And they're still going along. They don't care what they tell them.
Yeah.
They haven't decided we going along. They even we're not importing anybody. Or everybody stay in all their country. But we will allow our citizens, if the stadium could take 1 million people, we go pack in 500,000, no shouting, no making no noise, and we will still have somebody to watch.
I heard that today.
How are we supposed to open up this country when the citizens are not doing the right thing to get there? That we was going quite fine, you know. And?
Yeah, we was.
Right.
And then everything just came crashing down all of a sudden.
Because people allow themselves to get misled by one group of people that the virus ain't real. Dr. Rowley lying to us. The same people wasn't bothering to open up the borders. These same people was telling the Prime Minister to open up the borders. And then what? Open up the borders for who? And we ain't no vaccine yet, eh?
But Barataria, from what I saw in the papers this morning, we are on track to opening up the borders the first week in July. You agree with that?
If we get the next dose of vaccine before the end of July. You understand the point? If we could get a portion of vaccine before the end of July and vaccinate another, here will be the biggest problem, the old people. We can't say up to now, I don't think we could say that we vaccinated on the elderly, 75% of the elderly or 100% of the elderly, because in different countries, they're starting at 80 to 70, and then 70 to 60, and then 60 to 50, and then 50 to 40. That's how they're going, and In England and all about, they're taking it by 10 years. Every 10 years, they go down to a generation. So they start at 60, then they go to 50. Up to now, we can say that we have vaccinated 75% of the elderly population. Because there's a group of people tell they don't take the vaccine and creating people from not taking the vaccine. Vaccine hesitancy. That's the next thing a group of people making noise for. But they didn't expect that so much of people would have turned out. So people, go and get a vaccine and don't study these people. Stay in your house. But there is nothing we can do, no precious. The bank is going to continue to do what they have to do. And it's up to we. The government can say what they want. If we devalue the dollar, you know, precious, it was wrong when that happened?
No.
All right, well, let me tell you, when Carnival, I think I probably told you already, when Carnival time, and a foreigner come, and I in town selling a solo or a coke, $1 for $1. You give me one of your US dollar, and at that time was $2.35 for one US. You know what I'm saying, Precious? In my time growing up, $2.35 for one US. So when they come for Carnival, it's 1 for 1. Today is how much? Today it is $6.75 or $6.35 for one. And if there is supposed to be a devaluation, how much you buy? What is the cheapest soft drink you can buy with no taste? Something for $2, then?
Yeah.
All right. If I devalue the dollar, you know how much would be for that same $2 no taste something? About 4. You know how much would be? Bread is how much right now presently? $13?
Yeah.
If I devalue the dollar 10 to 1, how much you think our bread would be? $18.
Wow.
And then you will tell me now, I have to increase your wage to create your standard of living, and here what's going on with this pandemic, food prices around the world is getting food. You see what's going on in North Korea? North Korea has no food.
Yes,
Not South Korea. All right.
Right now they're experiencing a tense food shortage.
All right. And the same thing is going to happen in America and England shortly. Because if nobody can go out to work to plan nothing, all right, well, enjoy it. And
Thank you so much. That makes sense. It makes sense, Barataria. Thank you so much. You know, my auntie was saying, was telling us that, you know, in the U.S., some of the food prices are going up, but what she noticed as well is that what they could keep at the same price, but the value, like you're getting smaller stuff, everything coming in smaller packages, and they're trying to keep the price at the what you're accustomed paying. But I understand and I know this for a fact, for real, food prices across the world, it is going up. So, I mean, couple that with, we here in Trinidad and Tobago already, even before pandemic, was dealing with grabalicious owners who, you know, if they could have charged $5 for something, they say, you know what, I want to make a $3 profit, so I'll charge $8. Now, in this COVID times, with prices around the world going up, what's going on here? Just now we can eat, you gotta plant. I want to send some love going out to Shari, who's saying, is it Shari? Yeah, Shari, who's saying, Robert and I looking extra lovely today. Thank you so much. Tell Shari, thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Shari. I feel your mama guy. I'm precious. No, I feel your mama guy precious.
Yeah, iron your shirt.
Yeah.
You come out in your shirt.
Yeah. When I watch every news, I say, no, don't come on proper one. Proper thing. Hey, you steady.
Good afternoon. Oh, Lord. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Precious and Robert.
Hi, darling.
Good afternoon.
Yes. If you know how I love the market, it's saving me for a lot of things when I go out. Sometimes as you call me, I just take it out because I had it on and I didn't realize I had it on. So I said, you know, before people sneezing and you would just run away without thinking, and now you realize how dangerous sneezes, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, so I was hearing you all earlier, so I had to step out and get back in. But a lot of people, you know, I love to hear Mr. Barataria and Mr. Chan, Sarah, a lot of people, which makes sense, and they talk to the people of how to prepare for the future, meaning after the pandemic, or even how to look at things. Look at what the world and look at what could happen to our country. Okay? And I'm wondering if the people, the association of the Business Association of Arima had called a meeting with their members and discussed the future. I mean, after we have control the pandemic, you know, the way it is raging, and you have said it just now. Now, if they open up, now if they have not opened up, well, you know, after we had this low amount of infected people, right? And then we decide to call people in, meaning that we let people in and we allow people to go out and move about as they want. People just forget about the COVID, right? They forget about the infection. And they start spreading and they want to play this one and that one and the other one. What about you? What are you doing to save lives, to save yourself, and to save others? Right? And you want the government to open up. But the thing is increasing. So what are you doing? What the business people are doing? All they think about making the money. Well, you're going to die if you're not going to think about other people, you know, the future. You want people come in the shop. They want people come to the bar. You want people come to the swimming pool. Listen, Robert and Precious, parties still going on, huh? Parties are going on.
What's that, so?
People are still going on to celebrate their birthday in private places where they can. Where people tell me, I can't tell you.
Okay.
But I'm saying that, and only this morning I heard somebody talk about beach activities, right? So it's that people are not thinking about tomorrow, you know, about their survival. I mean, what it is you really need at this moment? Nothing luxury, right? Nothing luxury but your health. Free air, not the oxygen tank at all, not being in the hospital smelling chemicals. No, you need to be safe, and like you say, stay inside. When they tell you to come out, because it's also costing the government. So that is reducing your money, you, your taxpayer, you. It's reducing your allowances, right? Yes, they can bury you as one cost.
Right.
But, you know, there are other costs. So, you know, the cost of your family, stress. You know, I think Robert and Precious people love the pharmacy. They prefer to buy medicine than food. There's so much food out there. And I'm not saying that the food is getting expensive, you know, because some people are doing it. But, I mean, you must know how much you could eat.
Right.
You know, I don't buy water. I drink my water. And you talked about bread here. So I don't like the bread outside. Sometimes it's just sometimes, but I like making my bread. So I make my bread, right? I cook my food. I like my food, right? I like to eat my food. That doesn't mean that I don't go to a restaurant. But some people, you must know what it is you want to eat. And I'm saying they have businesses and they survive and people like, and you have the money and you can afford it, fine, right? But you do not go out of your way to say that you're going to spend so much money. You're making $100 a day. Let's put it that way. I just using a figure. Why you want to spend one per se? You know? So I want to say to the people, be careful, think about tomorrow, stay safe. Your family is yours. If you want to lose them, well, it's up to you. Okay, take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So, Precious, I want to also encourage the listeners and those who may be going through the rough times to call us, right? Call us and let us know what are some of the things you're going through. Perhaps you can put some measures in place where we can help you as well.
Because we're doing that, eh?
Yes, we're doing that. All right? So,
I want to congratulate Robert and all personally. I know you're doing your thing
thank
behind
you.
the scenes. You ain't coming and talk about it.
I know
But
about that talk
I
thing.
see you Robert do anything behind the scenes.
Give
so,
thanks,
yeah,
give
blessings
thanks.
to you, man.
Yeah,
Good afternoon. I lost that one. You want to play that voice, no?
yeah.
Good afternoon, Precious and Robert. When you go to the IMF, it's not just job loss, you know. You see all those social services and stuff. all that has been cut, Just bring it down to bare, you have one person doing 3 persons' work in a ministry, and they would still tell you have to cut down on your on your services. Just bring it down to basic, So it's not like people will lose their work. All them funds, the grants and all them things, all that have to cut, So it's not just a matter going to IMF and some people will lose work. It's go down to nothing. We've been through that already.
Wow. Another one?
Life is easy when you're up on the mountain.
Who is this?
And you've got peace of mind. Lord, like you never know. But things change when you're down in the valley. Don't lose faith, 'cause you're never alone. For the God of the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, it's He who will put things right. And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God in the night. You talk of faith when you're up on the mountain, but talk comes easy when life's at its best. Now you're down in the valley of trials and temptations. That's when our faith is really put to the test. Mother God of the mountain is still God in the valley. Lord, when things go wrong, it's He will make them right. And the God of the good times, Lord, is still God in the bad times. I said the God of the day, my Lord, the God of the day is still God in the night.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The street919fm.com.
Every day I pray, yeah, for the wicked and bad mind, hope they change their ways. Every day I pray, yeah, every day I pray. Oh
Lord. Yes, man.
Oh, yes. Thanks for the singing there, sir. All your the Facebook cracking me up too,
Yeah.
I want to send some love going to my Auntie Jackie, who's locked on.
Auntie Jackie.
Yes, Auntie Jackie. We know
Wait now,
tomorrow
60
is
years
your birthday.
All right.
I'll send you some virtual hugs and kisses.
That's one.
So, guys, we're going back to the phone lines. That's singing through more, it's how it just come in.
Without a one,
the man take his time to
yeah.
a song.
No, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. But
it's
we
just
didn't.
how it come in now.
Yeah, we didn't expect it coming in, Come on now.
Good afternoon.
What is that, boy?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Robert, you forget me with the seeds, boy.
No, I didn't forget you. It's just where I have to get it, I haven't been there yet.
Because what I'm saying is I'm still waiting, and if I get things to plant what that I could eat, you know, it would be much better. As I tell you, I try okos and stuff like that, and it's only the okos came, the melangen and thing. I don't know what went wrong. But it's better I get a fish and try to feed myself than just, wait and depend on thing, because look at how the economy going.
Exactly.
Yes, so if I get things and I get a plant, it and it come, I have that, and whatever I have, I just make do.
Yeah, I will link you. I will link you this week, self. Right? We'll talk.
Okay then.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You keep good, and you all stay blessed.
All right. You too. Okay.
Blessings.
Tobago saying I enjoyed the singing. He sung good. No, he sung good. It's just we didn't expect. He shake we up a little bit.
Some information for Digicel customers. Digicel customers are getting all the convenience now. They're no longer limited to paying with their credit card. Now they can use their Visa debit card on the My Digicel app to pay their Digicel Plus and mobile bill. Also, they can use the app to top up or purchase a plan. So download the My Digicel app in your mobile app store today.
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome. Hello? Hello?
Lost that one?
The call ended. They ended the call. Good afternoon.
Hi, good evening, Precious.
Welcome
good afternoon,
to you.
Precious.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Robert.
Good afternoon.
The thing struck me because I didn't get a message in the song because there was a lot of tenor at the end of every verse. And not only that, I think when you're coming in to sing a song, tell us what you're singing so we could get the idea. But nothing wrong with that. Everybody, the program being versatile. Now, I always want to respond to Kunji and Day because the song intelligent, and people normally wrap up what they say. It's glad that a sister came after and tell him about when you don't know something, Kunji, ask us, because I think we're in a better position as PM supporters to really take out sometimes the political side and take the national side. So the question of the IMF, he spoke about the aspect of taking care, spending the money on what the money is borrowed for. What to that effect? But the IMF, and why we are not there yet, is because it's proper management. I don't want to go down in the whole umbrella of how Kunji and they really debate in relation to a UNC and a PNF. And it's not that I taking too much politics into the thing, but they always have this subliminal message where you see how a country was run from 2010 to 2015, and that didn't bother him at all. That didn't bother him at all to talk about IMF. No, we're in a position where we're in a pandemic, and not only that, Kunji and they, including UNC supporters, will ever come up with one iota of what you call a national conversation on how we could deal with it. Now, Precious and Robert, in a pandemic, it's not only, you remember, opposition members getting pay, and what their pay is to do is to tell us the alternative of what the government can do. We don't get that. We get criticism. We get sunlight could kill COVID. We get things like try rum and something. We get things like, the Donald Trump model. I could go and compare if the Prime Minister said, listen, today is open for business, but be careful. You don't say the be careful part, but you say the business part.
Right.
But when Prime Minister spoke about the marching and the gathering in relation to the girl who died, sadly, they ignored that. And that's the problem we have with people who give the alternative that could create problems. But let me bring it home. Precious and Robert, you're in a house. You have your mother and father and you have 4 children. 2 not listening to you. 2 listening to you. It's a consequence for the 2 that's not listening to you. That's Trinidad and Tobago. Almost 50% of the people sometimes dealing with things based on, remember, we have almost 19 seats of people listening to their leader. If they're not on the same page with the government, people will die.
Yeah.
People will die. Because people always feel if I don't wear mask, I'm not taking the government side. And that's the problem. So I am telling people today, the government there are areas I feel we could do better, but my God, when you come on the radio, tell us what we could do to avoid the death, and then after everything settles, we could go in the political circle and discuss what avenues we could use to get into government. And that's what I want at this point in time. But for now, let us see what we can do to deal with the pandemic, because it's affecting a lot of poor people. And listen, I'm not talking about people who call in the radio and saying the poor. There are a lot of poor people out there. A gentleman said it. The poor people ain't getting a chance to call this radio station.
Yeah, boy.
You all have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Somebody said that, you know.
Yeah, somebody said that.
Donald said the people who really need help don't have access. To the show.
Yes. I feel one day we are going to shoot, so no?
Well, I mean, if they don't have access to the online part of the show, we streaming live on the radio.
Airways.
Yeah, on the radio. If you're listening and you don't, I mean, you obviously, when someone says that, you know, you don't have access to the show, I would like to think maybe they're talking about the online part of the show. But the Street 919 FM, you know, we also on normal radio.
Yeah.
And you know, if there's anyone, because we doing our part here.
Yes.
I mean, not everything is highlighted, like I said, but we doing our part here. So if you're listening to the radio, and you want a little assistance, 3420081. Even if you don't want to call, just WhatsApp us 7711799. Because remember last week the woman who WhatsApp and arrangements made to help out.
Yeah, definitely.
A 2-month-old baby.
Baby and stuff. Yeah.
So not everybody want to call.
I also want to say something, Precious. I want to tell the nation, especially those who are in need. Now is the time to put on your pride. If you have pride, put on your pride and come out and talk. There's no some people prideful that don't want to, you know, just come up with a business, you know, I ain't having and thing. And some people are like that. Some people like to just hold the black head up and walk. But in this time we need help. And, you know, just like the lady, I could imagine the mental... I know, I could just imagine that lady didn't want to go and steal. But, you know, pride.
And when you're hearing your baby crying...
Yeah, pride. So put on your pride.
No, we're not condoning it.
We're not condoling. We're not
It's
condoling.
not right.
Yes.
But we had to study
stealing.
What pushed her to that.
Yeah, stealing is not right. No way.
Hello?
Oh, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Good afternoon.
What's up?
Yeah, man, we good. How are you?
Hey, boy, we in the land that live in, according to one of my relatives, we surviving in the atmosphere.
Yes, man.
Yeah, for real. You know, I just wanted to speak. For time immemorial in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, we have these, I just call them regressive. On the earth itself, it has what they call the regressive race and it has the benevolent race. Right? The regressive controlling the earth. No, I wouldn't tell you what shape and physiology they have because people start to call me a mad person, but they're standing behind the ones that looks like us. And chaos and confusion is the order of the day. Chaos, confusion, mayhem, genocide, experiments is the order of the day. But we have a minority of that in Trinidad and Tobago. And the kind of thing that is talk, these people don't understand what the IMF is all about. You know, let them ask Barbados how much people went to them. That make news recently, how they remembering them things. All they said that you talk about this and that and the IMF, this and that and the other. People don't understand that is brutality, you know. 90% of water go and go home. Yeah, but when they close down Petro Train, you hear the stats in terms of other refineries, how much people, they say in bigger refineries, more advanced is 80 people and things running refineries, you know. One of the things that I forget about Petrochun refinery is how much service providers it had. I think it costs 2,000 something or 3,000 something. Like people who just provide stationery, this, that, the other. You hear how much service anyway. The regressives of talk are kind of talk that don't make sense. Government is a very small portion of the population's problem. The bigger part of the population's problem is the private sector, believe it or not. And somehow the regressives want to say, the government this, the government had to clean a carpet, the government had to paint your house, the government had to give food, the government had to do that. We understand that the government does have a duty. And they are trying and stuff like that. But these people do not turn to the private sector at all. They're not telling the private sector pay tax to help boost the revenue in the country in a hard and trying time. They're not telling the private sector to pay people, mirror the government ways and the actions and stuff like that. And the private sector needs to step up their game. You understand what I'm trying to say? The government cannot do everything.
And I just ignore a lot of these people who just be talking very shallow, Mr. Bartaya. Good afternoon to you, sir. You just really put it across very well. A lot of us like to hear you when you're discussing the matters. Because things I just missed, you just come out and say, brother, well done, brother. And one other thing, I want to play on people's conscience here. In terms of the meat eating and the KFC and the this and that. One of the greatest, let me tell you, one of the greatest deceptions to humanity is the consuming of the flesh of dead beings. It is the source of many cancers and many, many, many diseases. Now, you can make all your own choice. So you go ahead and consume all your meat if all you want. But if you want to improve your health, one of the biggest lies I was told to mankind is that you have to consume flesh. That is one of the techniques of the regressive. And on a spiritual note, human beings not supposed to really be consuming anything with a face and a heart. Because when you really check it out, when you're watching on television and you're watching vampire and demon and this and that and they eating flesh and all them kind of things, you're doing the same thing. You're doing it in a decent way. Let's say have an infant fork in your hand. But the terror that these beings has experienced upon dying, the chemicals that is released into the flesh when they realize, when I'm checking what your partner go on there, there's terror, then he dead. Then you go and eat that horror. And that terror you go and put that down in your belly. That has been the source of many of our diseases. So over the centuries, consuming flesh has damaged the human digestive system. Right? A little bit to take more, or look at say talking stupidness.
No, you're not different frequency.
People will talk about straight. But what they say too is that it has damaged your arteries also. Cholesterol is something that is repair cracked arteries. Like when your arteries start to dry up and crack, the cholesterol has gone plug it now. So with the damaged digestive system and the damaged metabolic system from consuming flesh, that is where all the other diseases that stem from the arteries drying up and the cholesterol plugging it up to here, plugging it up there, plugging it up there. Well, these are things I learn on my own and I do my own research. It is my opinion. These views are not the views of the radio station or Robert and Precious, okay? Yeah. So I just want to show you that. All you have a good evening, Nathan. All you keep good. Let me keep listening. Let me ignore the zesters on them. Let me ignore the rankers on them. Let me ignore the people who hate Rowley and still having private data parties that they wouldn't pop up on Facebook. And the spread continuing, right? So everybody have a good evening.
Blessings to you, man. Blessings. Thank you so much for your contribution. We do appreciate it. Let me read out let me pay the bank.
Yes.
And read out some more information for you guys. My final 2 pieces of information coming from Omega XL. If you are suffering from joint pain and you need great results, you need to pick up a bottle of Omega XL right now at all leading pharmacies or call Great Health Limited at 225-0410. After all, international cricket superstars Karen Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, Lendl Simmons, and Rad Emrit, even Raymond Ramnarine and Ravi B have all been using Omega XL for joint pain and getting great results. So what about you? I tell you what to do already. Go and pick up your bottle of Omega XL. Also, some information from Pennywise Cosmetics. Pennywise, they are there just for you. So real, get that perfect smile. Beauty is in every aisle. To take care of your body, Pennywise, that's all you need to stay healthy. Pennywise, yes, it's true. Pennywise, just for you. Pennywise gives you more to love. So we want to clear up the phone lines. We have a couple more minutes before we go pay those commercials, and then we have the news at 4 o'clock. Aisha Wells comes up after the news at 4 o'clock as well, so keep it tuned in for that, all right? But in the meantime, let's get up the phone lines. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Yeah, it's a first-time caller.
First-time caller. Where are you calling from, honey?
I'm calling from the village of Chase Village.
Chase
Village in the building.
Chase village is in Central.
Yeah, that's in Chaguanas.
That's correct.
Welcome to the Street 919 FM.
Yeah. All right. Here, what is my contribution today, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, people are free to go and get information where they want to get information from, because in this day and age, you get a lot of information. Okay? And people have a right to choose for themselves what they want to accept. And it shouldn't be on anybody else. It's on you. For instance, right? After the lockdown and you find there's still an increase in the coronavirus. I've been asking for the longest while why it is coronavirus cannot be spread by money. Money is not social distancing, it is not quarantining, it is not locking down, it is not wearing a face mask. The sanitizing don't handle, trolley handles, don't not countertop, they're not sanitizing money, and money is going. Money is moving, and you know money is not clean. You bring money home, why it cannot be spread by money? And that is simple. Another thing is, okay, why it is the origin of this coronavirus is so secretive? It is a fact now that you know that Anthony Fauci was involved, right? That the coronavirus came from the lab in Wuhan. That's a fact, right? And there are thousands of lawyers right now, right? International, they are suing the World Health Organization and the CDC for mass genocide that is taking place on the planet. People are dying. The women, young girls, their fertility is gone. Women have seen period when they are going through menopause, and there's so much, there's thousands and thousands of cases that is not being reported in the mainstream media. So it's left up to you whether you want to accept it or not. It's on you. For you to, this is not a vaccine, you know. It is not a vaccine. It does not meet the qualification of a vaccine. It has been called an experimental injection, and the experiment is on you. It has been said already, all right, that the people who took the vaccine, there is a lifetime about 2 years max for them, you know. And we have to sympathize with them. No, the thing is, when the Prime Minister said that the unvaccinated will be a threat to the vaccinated. How come you have a natural body that is natural to the earth, it's natural to the planet, it is natural to nature, be a threat to somebody who has something synthetic in them? How that could be a threat? The threat will be on the people who are unvaccinated because they have a natural body. Not everybody is going to take this vaccine. It's on you, not the vaccine, the experimental injection. It's on you. Another thing is, let me put up quick. If you remember the story in the basic information before leaving Earth, in the Bible, where Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve was punished by God in the Garden of Eden, okay? And the devil or the serpent, whoever, were left free. And it has still happened today. It is still roaming. The devil is still roaming, as you can see. Right? Why it is you're punishing me? Wear face mask, social distance, lockdown, whatever, and I'm not dealing with the virus. Isn't it easier to deal with the virus? Can you come and deal with me? Because the virus will always be free. There will always be virus. So I will keep on taking vaccine or injections, upon injection, and the virus is free, and it is mutated, and you are getting different variants. It is easier to deal with the virus. Deal with the virus. Don't come and deal with me and leave the virus. So I've been asking this question for since last year. How it is, that's another one, how it is if the virus could be transmitted from me to somebody else. It did not affect me. Okay?
All right.
How it is, what process it is being transmitted from me to this other person and it didn't affect me. How?
All right.
Would you answer that?
Thank you so much, caller.
Yeah.
We allowed you to talk, your first time caller, but when we talking this vaccine,
you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Yes.
We do respect your opinion and your views and your beliefs,
especially as a first time caller
on the vaccine and this coronavirus. But we have to be very, very careful when we feed in these information. Yes. So, guys, we're counting down to go to the commercial break. Want to thank everybody for calling. Clear out the voice.
Yeah, let me squeeze in.
Send voice. Let's see voice. No pile up there, man.
Robert, good afternoon. You know, sometimes I was wondering if Kunji went to school or Kunji ever realized what he'd be saying. Always talking about the government money, he money, and the people money. Yeah. Your father and your mother is your money is your money. Huh? And you have to tell them how to spend it This is why they elect people. I mean, not they don't do everything right all the time, but they must have things in places to how to spend the money and what to do with it. Because the economy, the COVID now, shut down everything. Don't do nothing until COVID finish. So when COVID finish now, you're flat on your butt. You're fighting to build back road and do all kind of and all kind of stuff. Kunji, man, I always thought you and Kingji, then so much of education they get away from Trinidad and
I pray another young girl does not get used to
Yeah, any more voice note to clear up before we go?
One more. Let's go with this one.
So then the government should give everybody $1,000 a month every month. The whole nation should get $1,000 a month until this pandemic over, I guess.
Play it again.
Good afternoon, Precious. Kunji, the educator. Well, then the government should give everybody $1,000 a month every month. The whole nation should get $1,000 a month until this pandemic over, I guess.
We have one more? Yeah.
Yes, a pleasant good afternoon. Beautiful program, beautiful topic. I think it's about time somebody really did touch on this, and I'm thankful for you all bringing it up. But my view on this topic, as far as I am concerned with the banking sector and so on, I find it's supposed to be a little lenient because year in, year out, Precious, and so on, we go in, we take our loans, we are faithful in paying back the loan. Sometimes we leave ourselves undone. A lot of things undone just to make sure we pay back the loan. A lot of us are faithful in doing that, and I find they could be a little lenient on us. And I thought to it again too, where are the banks who are giving out any kind of food basket or hampers and so on, with people who are so faithfully in paying back the loans and so on? We are the ones who are really keeping up the bank. But what are they doing in the contribution? Where are their contribution towards COVID and so on? I want to call banks' name, but let me just go on to say, where are these banks? Where are you hearing these banks saying Sunday meet us by the Savannah, we are giving out hampers, meet us and so on, so we are giving out hampers? What are they giving back to all the people who have made